People fly every day. In fact, it is a part of some commuters' weekly schedule. Believe it or not, there's about 6 million people that fly every day, with an estimated 500,000 in the air at any given time. In March 2020, the average number of flights per day was 145,000, and 1 year earlier in March 2019, it was 176,000. The sheer number of commercial flights is truly immense. Plane crashes are far from the status quo, despite how movies depict them. There are only a few hundred people per year who die from plane crashes on average. In 2017, the only plane-related deaths were not from crashes. You are in fact more likely to die or be injured from a car crash than you are to be involved in a plane accident, making a daily 50-mile commute more dangerous than any flight any of us have been on. However, none of these comforting safety statistics remove the possibility of your plane going down. The terrifying, unpredictable accidents will still occur, and that was the case of PSA Flight 182. It was September 25th, 1978. Pacific Southwest Airlines Flight 182 left Sacramento for San Diego via Los Angeles. It consisted of 128 passengers and 7 crew members. The pilot in command, Captain James McFerrin, contacted the San Diego Air Traffic Control in order to receive guidance for the approach. But this is a clear wind warning. ATC informed McFerrin to switch from instrumental flight rules to visual flight rules, and began his descent at 11,000 feet to 7,000 feet at exactly 11:59 a.m. ATC warned the PSA crew that there was a small Cessna 172 close by. The Cessna was being piloted by 2 licensed pilots, Martin McKaysey Jr. and David Boswell, who was practicing instrument landing systems under the Casey's instructions. After the first officer of the PSA flight informed the ATC that they had Cessna in sight, the ATC asked them to remain visual separation. It was later revealed that the PSA flight had lost sight of Cessna. It was only speculating where its position was. The planes inevitably crashed. Flight 182 impacted just north of the intersection of Dwight and Niles Streets, killing all 135 people aboard the airship, and 7 people on the ground in houses, including 2 children. It was a great community effort to put out the fire, and even helped the very few people who managed to survive. But sadly, the most help that could be given by Saints was to be used as a morgue. We asked Jack's grandma, an eyewitness, of her account of the experience.
I was at home. I lived in Serra Mesa, and I was just finishing getting my children off to school, and I heard it on the radio. It happened on a Monday morning, about 9:01 a.m., and I was very concerned about the devastation that was going on in North Park. Yes, I had a friend named Gary Hamry who worked for Union Tribune, and he was making a call into the paper, and he was very close. He was at the drugstore at a payphone making his morning calls, and he was really scared because he heard and saw the flames and the crash sounds and all of that. And there was a lot of commotion going on in the area at that time because they were using St. Augustine as a morgue. And there was a neighbor, very close neighbor, who was coming back from a flight, and she was on the plane, and of course she was killed with the rest of the crew and passengers. It was completely destroyed. The fuel from the PSA flight burned down all the houses, and they had to clear them and rebuild them. It brings to mind all the houses that were destroyed. And also now when I pick up Jack or bring him home, you're looking at all the differences that have transpired in all these years.